Hello there, I'm Joshua de Lisle, the designer blacksmith. By night, as it would seem. But by day, I'm actually a fabricator. You're probably wondering, why then would I use a cheap Chinese TIG welder compared to the more expensive ones? Well, my experience has been that even using Miller's and Kempe's and this cheap Chinese thing, is that there is no difference in performance. In fact, the only difference is how well they're built for how long they'll last under professional workloads, if you see what I mean. One of the drawbacks is, though, with this, is you get given one of these really cheap, nasty TIG torches. Now, it's fine to get you started and all that malarkey, but you can't use the prosumer consumables on it. So having Fioric cups and all that kind of nice stuff, you just can't get hold of. And there's a problem, which I'll explain. So I've got myself the standard WP17F. Now, for those of you who don't know, the F stands for Flexi, and this is a pretty standard cup that most professionals would use. And I wanted it to get the standard size cups and lenses and all that kind of thing. There's a problem though. This is the connection for the WP17 and the 26s, well, the other ones. This, however, is the lead that you get with the cheap TIG, and as you might have guessed, they don't fit together. So, what do? Do I get a whole new cable? If I do get a whole new cable, you can guarantee it won't fit the machine. So I'm left with a bit of a dilemma, going back to how much have I got to fork out for an even more expensive machine. So what I have discovered is that I can replace this end. Now, I searched the internet and I couldn't find anything that would give me any information on replacing these other than a lot of very wise men saying, don't do it because it's dangerous and you're messing with things you don't understand. So buy a proper lead and a proper welder and you can't go wrong. And I would tend to agree with those very wise men indeed. However, I simply dismantled this apart and found what parts I need. Now, inside the said cable, you have a braided copper cord, and then there's a special part here. Now, with a little bit of digging, I managed to find out what that part is. And it's one of these. You see? And you see that little dimple there? So you put the cable in the braided cord through there. You then swage it using a special pair of pliers. And then your gas is able to still go through in this direction, and it will fit the torch perfectly like so. Just like that. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to go through all the steps. I bought all the bits for doing it. And if you're interested in doing the exact same thing with your cheap TIG to turn it into a more professional machine, all the links are in the description for all the parts that you can get off Amazon. Some of them you might have to wait a long time for, but at least you can get hold of them. That's the main thing. Right, so you need one of these, a swaging tool, and if you take special attention of swaging part there, what kind of shape that makes, you need one of those. You also need the correctly sized hose clamp and one of these special tools for clamping it on with. There you go. So already I've got the Stanley knife and I've cut around the pipe just to reveal what was going on. So all I'm going to simply do now is cut the old part off, like so. There you go. Okay, so now with the copper braid and this part here, it will be described in the description. I'm not very good with technical names of stuff, if I'm honest. But that simply goes into there, but not past that little hole, because that's where your gas is going to flow through, so just enough. And I'm going to take the swaging tool now. And again, a little bit further up. There we go. So you can see it's swaged in a way that allows the gas to flow straight in there. And the gas actually acts as a cooling mechanism as well. That's why it's important. Right, so now squeeze this back on, and now you can put your hose clamp on, like so, using your hose clamp pliers. There you go, fitted. So now hopefully this will slot over, will it? Oh gosh. Right, so as it would seem, the simple O-clip doesn't fit the handle. So you're all probably thinking, ha, you idiot, you should have known better. And you're quite right, I should have known better. However, I did a bit of research and I found out that you can make hose clips simply using wire. And the interesting thing is the people who make the tooling for these wire hose clips, they even claim that it's better than these ones. So I'm quite curious, but looking at the tools that they manufacture, which are mainly coming from America, are certainly very expensive, even for Americans it would seem, which has spawned a whole load of videos of people making their own wire hose clip formers, if you like. So I'm going to have a go at making one myself now and see how well it performs. But certainly the key aspect to it is the low profile that I can get on the welding torch. So let's make the tool and see if it's any good, shall we? And that was it, that's all it took. So there is the finished tool. And it's really, the key feature is that groove there, and you can see I slit the sides, that just helps locate the wires a bit better. And then this little lever with the slit in it. So the first thing I need to do is to create the wire clip itself before we tighten it. So I have here some annealed wire. Now you could probably use anything, bronze wire, stainless wire, normal welding rod, it really doesn't matter I don't think, but I have some annealed tie wire here just because it's what I've got. So I've got myself a nice comfortable length. It's far too much than what I need, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to find roughly the middle, and then I'm going to make a rough coil once, and then again, until it's pointing down. Now that hole, the orifice there, if you can see I've made 2 loops, that the pipe has to fit through there, so make sure it's bigger than the pipe itself, otherwise you'll struggle to make things fit. So now what I want to do is just have a little space away, maybe a little finger's width, and do the same but in the opposite direction. So coiling on the same side but opposite direction until you have a pair of glasses, if you like. There you go. Now, with the cross piece on the top, I'm going to bend down like so. And there you have it. There is your clip. Now, these are the tails, these are the parts that you're going to tighten with, and your tool is going to nest on the loop just there. So let me show you how it works. Okay, so I have the hose here. So I'm going to put the clip on there. So I'm just going to hold it in the vise, nothing serious, just so you can see it, and I've got some hands free. Okay, so I'm just going to slot the clip over to about there, which is roughly where I want the clip to go. Now I'm going to fit the groove, doesn't matter which side I don't think, on, and you can see how that works now, to there. And these tails, if you like, are going to come either side to the hole. Now, there you go, stay in focus. Now you will see clearly how the little slot works. So it's going to slot over one wire and then the other. Very simply like that. Now I'm going to start tensioning, making sure that it's engaged here and ends up in the position that I want it to be. So as I keep winding, it's pulling and tensioning those wires, making it tighter and tighter. There we go, a bit of manual focusing there. So then when you feel that you've tightened it enough, you simply want to bend it over like so. Now, just so you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to unravel this side. That loosens the top part here, and this tool can all come straight back off like so. And simply take your pliers, cut them near the source but leave the little hooks on, and bend those hooks down over like so. Now that is a super tight and very neat clip. You can see the way that the wire has embedded itself into the rubber there. That says to me that it's on pretty good and tight. So those aren't going to catch on anything, which is good. Now, will my sheath go over? And it will, very nicely. Look at that. Perfect. There we are. What a beauty. Right, so this is what I'm talking about. Using lenses that give great gas coverage. Now this one is going to be perfect for some small stainless steel work. But I've also got things like this. The big gas lenses also. And they're going to be great for doing things like walking the cup and doing lots of bigger scale work as well, where I can get really good gas coverage over the parts. So I've got a little project if you want to see a demonstration of my little TIG. So this one I got for 200 quid and it is 200 amps, and I believe it as well because I've been using it for a few years now. And you can see it's tiny, lightweight and compact. I just really love it. I just can't believe how brilliant it is. Anyway, let me show you what this can do. Okay, this is going to be a tool for a job that I've got going on, and so what I want to do is just weld this little spigot on there like that, but I want a really nice, penetrating but neat bead. I want it to be as low profile as possible, basically. So let's give my new welding cups a little test. So I'm using a 1.6 mild steel filler wire. It says on that R45. Number 12 cup, 1.6 thoriated tungsten. So I'll put the filter on and then you can have a look at see what I'm doing, hopefully. And there we go, that's my attempt at TIG welding. Now that kind of smoking that you see there, I should have realised it, but on the TIG set that I have, there is a preset for gas flow, meaning I can't adjust it. And the thing is, with the big cups, the tungsten gets quite hot, and it's the gas that needs to protect the tungsten really, as well as the weld pool. But what that meant is it shuts off before it's cool enough, which means it's exposed to oxygen while it's still hot, and I noticed that it kind of smoked on the end there. But other than that, it looks like a fairly neat bead, exactly what I wanted anyway. So leave a comment below if you know what tool this is going to be. There aren't any prizes other than being a winner. Very quickly just show you this one. Yeah, I need to practice that a lot more, I think. No, but you get the gist. And just because it's fun to do. Happy forging a life worth living. See you in the next episode. Bye.